Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Batman vs. Superman, number 2 would be Zootopia, number 3 would be God's Not Dead, number 2, 4 would be My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, and number 5 would be Meet the Blacks. And unfortunately, I only got 2 out of 5 of my predictions right, which is okay, I guess. Could have been better, but whatever, I guess. Anyways, number 1 was Batman vs. Superman. This isn't really much of a surprise. Everyone kind of thought Batman would stay up there. However, it dropped by a lot, by like 69%. It made $51 million this weekend. And I need to remind you that last week it made $166 million on its opening weekend, and it dropped down to 51 this weekend. Holy crap, that is not very good. However, that does add up to a total of $260 million, and that is on a budget of $250, so it already got its budget back, which is very good, especially worldwide. It just made over $600 million, so that's very good for the movie. However, the Rotten Tomatoes score, I guess, really is affecting how much money it makes. The overall reaction to this movie is not making people want to go back and see it a second time or a third time, which is why it's dropping so very, very low. Oh well, Batman v Superman, you tried, kind of. Anyways, number 2 was Zootopia, a movie that actually didn't drop by a whole lot. Last weekend it made around $23 million, I believe, and this weekend it only made $19 million, so it only dropped by $4 million, which is very good, and that adds to a total of $275 million, which is super good. Only $25 million away until they double their $150 million budget, which I'm gonna be really happy as soon as they get to that, because Zootopia deserves it, because it is one of the best films of the year so far. In fact, if I have to do a top 3, it would be number 1, Deadpool, number 2, Zootopia, then number 3, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yes, I believe that's an appropriate list. Yeah, pretty good for a top 3 so far for the year. Anyways, number 3 was My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. This weekend it made $11 million. That adds to a total of $36 million. So it already doubled its $18 million budget, which is very good. I don't think it'll make a whole lot more money though, because as you know, the first My Big Fat Greek Wedding movie never opened to number 1. I don't think it ever got to a number 1 spot. However, it went on to gross over $200 million. I don't think that's going to be the case with My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, mainly because they waited a while to release the sequel. I don't know what the first My Big Fat Greek Wedding opened up to, but it had to be pretty large to at least stay a little while. And My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 didn't really open hugely, if that's even a word, hugely, whatever. So I don't think it'll even make it past 100 million, to be honest. I mean, clearly it's not going to. But whatever. Number 4 is God's Not Dead 2, making $7,623,000. And this is on a budget of $5 million. So yeah, thank you, God, I guess. Thank you, God, for making this movie, because you know that's what this movie is, right? Movies like this are made as Christian propaganda, right? You guys know that, and that's why people are hating on it, because clearly it's just that and nothing more. Alright, I'm gonna move on. Number 5 is another Christian type movie, Miracles from Heaven. I can't say it's pure propaganda because it's based on a true story, quote unquote. Actually, that could be an actual story, and I'm really offending the actual people that were in the story by saying that it may or may not be true. And if that is the case, then I am sorry. But if it isn't the case, then whatever, I don't care. It made $7,255,000 this weekend, adding to a total of $46 million, and that is pretty good for this movie. Isn't that great for this one movie? Yeah, it's pretty great for this one movie. Anyways, number 6 was Allegiant. This weekend it made $5 million, adding to a total of $56 million. Holy crap, it is still $54 million away from its $110 million budget. There's no way. Worldwide, yeah, I'm pretty sure it already passed 110 worldwide, but domestically, no way, no chance. There's no way to recover from this. Nope, no way. Anyways, number 7 was 10 Cloverfield Lane. Hey, I mentioned that earlier. Isn't that amazing? This weekend it made $4,564,000, adding to a total of $63 million on a budget of 15. It is only 37 million away from getting to 100 million, which it's a bummer. It really is, because it's dropped down to only making 4 million, and it's gonna probably stop around 70 million. I really wanted this movie to make like over 100 million because it's a terrific suspense thriller, and John Goodman already has like the best performance of the entire year. I mean, that's just so far, because it's just March. I'm not saying that's a definite thing that John Goodman is the best of the whole year, but you know what I'm saying, right? That this movie's incredible and everyone needs to see it and get freaked out because it's so suspenseful and heart pounding and awesome. Anyways, number 8 was Meet the Blacks. The movie I predicted to be number 5 actually went down to number 8, which I guess I kinda should have expected, since it's a spoof movie and those movies that really aren't popular anymore. But anyways, this movie made $4,055,000 this weekend. However, I cannot find the actual budget for this movie listed anywhere, but I guarantee you it's probably around $5 million. So far, it's doing terrific. Isn't that right, guys? We all love spoof movies that turn out to be worse than the movies they're spoofing, right? Anyways, number 9 was the movie that actually opened at number 10 last week, Eye in the Sky, making $3,961,000, adding to a total of $6 million. Pretty good for this movie that I don't know a whole lot about, which I probably... You know what, that's the weirdest thing. Last week I said I didn't know anything about it, and this week I had time to look stuff up about it, but then I didn't, so... whoops. But anyways, number 10, closing out a movie I do know a lot about, Deadpool. This movie made $3,456,000, adding to a total of $355 million, and that is very good for this movie. However, this is the last time we're going to be seeing Deadpool here. That makes me a little sad, so... Hey, at least, it opened February 12th, and it's stuck around until April 1st, or 3rd, yeah, April 3rd, 4th. It's the 4th today as I'm recording this. It stuck around from February 12th to April 4th. So congrats, Deadpool. You're freaking amazing. You deserve all the monies that you have made. Anyways, now time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. And as much as I would like to predict that Mr. Right, starring the lovely, talented, amazing Anna Kendrick and Sam Rockwell, as much as I would like to predict that that's going to make it in the top 5, however, that's just in limited release, and I think just straight to video, I believe, so it's not going to be there. However, I am going to predict that number 1 will still be Batman vs. Superman. How much it will drop, that's going to be the thing that we find out next week. Then I'm going to say that number 2 is Hardcore Henry. I actually think this movie has a chance, since it looks kind of different than most movies, and especially action movies today. Then I'm going to say that number 3 is The Boss, starring Melissa McCarthy, from the same director as Tammy. Then I'm going to say number 4 is Zootopia. Then I'm going to say that number 5 is Demolition, because even though Demolition isn't opening in a lot of theaters, it will be playing in some. So I think that it might be able to get in there. But if it doesn't, then whoops, I am wrong once again. But anyways, what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below. And if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then whoops. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.